Hey y'all, welcome back to Hoops Talk Central, the spot where we chop it up about all things WNBA. If you're new here, go ahead and smash that like button, hit subscribe, and help your boy out. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the month, so let's make it happen. Alright, let's get into it. Today we're talking about the Las Vegas Aces. And man, let me tell you, this team is looking like a hot mess right now. After back-to-back chips in 2022 and 2023, they hit a wall in 2024 and trying to get back to the top in 2025. Bruh, it's not looking easy. Let's break it all down because this ain't gonna be a quick fix no matter how you spin it. First up, let's talk about their roster. The Aces are dealing with a whole lot of question marks. Contracts are up for key players like Kelsey Plum, Alysha Clark, Tiffany Hayes, Sydney Colson, and Queen Egbo. That's basically half the squad, y'all. Alysha Clark, she's 37, so she might hang it up. And Tiffany Hayes? Sis came out of retirement for 2024, so it's looking like she's ready to dip again. Now here's where it gets even worse for them. Kelsey Plum. She's been cored, but don't let that fool you. The Aces might be using her as trade bait. There's been speculation and some reports suggesting that Plum might be looking for a change. Various sources indicate that Plum could be interested in becoming the face of a franchise elsewhere, similar to what was discussed for players like Jewel Lloyd or for teams like the Golden State Valkyries, where she could reconnect with her old coach Natalie Nakase. Adding to this, Plum didn't sign an extension with the Aces in the previous offseason, which might suggest she was keeping her options open. Her being cored without an immediate extension could be seen as both sides preparing for a potential separation under favorable terms for the Aces. Losing Plum would be a huge L, especially with how much she brings to their offense. If she's gone, the Aces are going to have to reinvent the wheel, and fast. Now, let's talk age. Chelsea Gray is still a beast, but Father Time is undefeated. She's in her 30s now and coming off a footing injury that had her sidelined at the start of 2024. When she came back, her numbers weren't quite the same. She averaged 8.6 points, 4.9 assists, and 2.9 rebounds per game, a noticeable drop from her 2023 performance of 15.3 points and 7.3 assists per game. Her shooting efficiency also took a hit, with a field goal percentage of just 39% in her first 12 games back. If she's not at 100%, the Aces are going to need someone else to step up. And let's be real, that's easier said than done. Plus, let's not forget that injuries like hers tend to linger, especially when you're playing at the highest level. They gotta figure out how to keep her fresh without overloading the rest of the squad. And it's not just Chelsea. Alysha Clark, one of the team's defensive anchors, is nearing the end of her career. At 37, retirement is a very real possibility, and even if she sticks around, expecting her to play heavy minutes and lock down the league's best players might be a stretch. The Aces' veteran leadership is at risk of thinning out, and that's a big deal when you're trying to keep a championship culture alive. And while the Aces are trying to figure out who's even going to be on the team, the rest of the league is leveling up. Teams like the New York Liberty and Minnesota Lynx aren't playing games. They've been studying the Aces playbook and coming up with ways to shut them down. Becky Hammond's a great basketball mind, but even she's got her work cut out for her this time. The gap between the Aces and the rest of the league, it's shrinking fast. The Liberty added even more firepower, and the Lynx have been quietly building a squad that can go toe-to-toe with anyone. It's like everybody else figured out the cheat codes while the Aces were busy celebrating. Even the new kid on the block, the Golden State Valkyries, is making waves. With Natalie Nakase at the helm, they're aggressively building a team that could surprise everyone. Expansion teams don't usually come out swinging, but the Valkyries might just be the exception. After winning 2 chips, it's hard to stay hungry. Even Becky said they lost that edge they had before. Maybe that playoff loss in 2024 will light a fire under them, but if they lose more players, it might be hard to keep morale up. Imagine watching your squad fall apart and then trying to stay hyped. Tough, right? It's like when you're playing pickup basketball and your best teammate leaves, you're just left scrambling, hoping someone steps up, but deep down you know it's not the same. And let's keep it real, when you're not the favorites anymore, it hits different. Going from being the hunted to just another team trying to survive the league grind is a hard pill to swallow. The Aces have to find a way to rally, and that starts with leadership, both on and off the court. This isn't just about players stepping up during games. It's about creating that same hunger they had when they were chasing those rings. They need to find their groove again and fast. The Aces' depth has been suspect for a while, and now it's even worse. Losing Kate Martin to the expansion draft didn't help, and while they've got Liz Kitley coming back from injury, she's unproven at the pro level. Don't get me wrong, Kitley's got potential. At 6'6", she's a rebounding and shot blocking machine. In college, she averaged 22.8 points, 11.4 rebounds, and 2.6 blocks per game in her senior year, which is no joke. Her ability to dominate in the paint could be a huge help, especially on the boards where the Aces struggled at times in 2024. But coming off an ACL injury and trying to adjust to the WNBA, that's a lot to ask for. If she can't make an impact right away, the Aces bench is going to be looking real light. And let's not forget, championship teams need solid depth. You can't just rely on your starters to carry the load all season long. Offensively, the Aces still have Jackie Young, who's been holding it down for years as one of their most reliable scorers. Jackie and Asia have been the backbone of this team for a while, giving the Aces two legit stars to lead the way. But here's the thing, that still might not be enough to hang with teams like the Liberty or the Lynx, who are stacked from top to bottom. Two stars can only carry you so far if the rest of the team can't keep up. Offensively, the Aces live and die by Asia Wilson. She's that girl, no doubt, but if Plum and Clark aren't there to take some of the load off, defenses are just going to double team Asia all day. Becky Hammond's got to find a way to keep the offense flowing, whether that's through new players or tweaking their system. And defensively, losing Alysha Clark would be a big hit. She's been locking up opponents for years, and finding someone to fill those shoes won't be easy. The Aces' defense used to intimidate teams, but now opponents are figuring out how to break through. And here's the wildest part. The Aces still don't even have a GM. Yeah, you heard that right. While every other team is out here making moves, the Aces are sitting at the table without someone to call the shots. It's like trying to assemble IKEA furniture without the instructions and realizing halfway through that the box is missing half the screws. Things already look bleak for the Aces, and having no GM to steer the ship makes it even worse. Who's making the calls here? It's like they're trying to win a chess game without a queen. So what's the move? The Aces need to have a good offseason. They've got to make smart moves in free agency, maybe pull off a big trade. It's all about balance, keeping their core intact while adding the pieces they need to compete with the rest of the league. And Becky Hammond, she's got to show why she's one of the best in the game by making all these moving pieces work. So yeah, the Aces are in a tough spot. With so many moving pieces and no clear answers, it's hard to see how they'll fix all this in time for 2025. I don't want to say they are completely out of the championship picture just yet, because hey, they've still got Asia Wilson and a few solid pieces left. But let's be real, if they keep losing players and don't find a GM soon, things could go sideways real fast. But hey, they've got Asia Wilson and Becky Hammond, so you can't count them out just yet. Still, they got some serious work to do if they want to get back to the top. It's gonna take strategy, heart, and maybe a little luck. Alright, that's it for today's video. What do y'all think? Can the Aces pull it together, or are they in for another rough season? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your people. Help me hit that 500 subscriber goal by the end of the month. Thanks for watching Hoops Talk Central, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.